Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. This is not the smartest guys in the room. How you doing today, Tom?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How you doing, man?
I feel good, man. Starting off a new year, you're able to hear me. I feel like, this is
Seems dangerous. Seems
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's a trap.
And we're here. We're here on the first day of the year, Tom. Like, do we get like
True
extra?
story.
Yeah, do we get like extra kudos? Uh, S squareds in the house. So today we're going to talk about goals, resolutions, and stuff you're leaving behind as a whole. Like if Tom quit smoking, I think Tom quit smoking 20 years ago. How many years ago did you quit smoking?
It's about 10.
Was it like an end of the year thing, or were you just like, I'm done with that?
No, I don't think it was an end of the year. I think it was sometime around my birthday in September. But I'm not positive. I don't actually remember. There wasn't like a date per se. I genuinely don't remember like when I had my last cigarette. But I haven't had a cigarette in I think it's about 10 years.
There you go.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
You ever look at them and just want to smoke them?
Honestly, no. I really don't. Like the only thing that's happened is like every once in a while, a couple of times, like maybe once or twice a year, I'll have a thought of like, I wonder what it would be like to have a cigarette after not having had a cigarette for so long. Like I just in the back of my mind, I'm like, I wonder what that would, but it's not enough. Like, I don't wonder enough that I actually want to do it. I just sort of have that moment of like, that would be weird, right? And then I don't. So, but yeah, I genuinely like have no desire. I don't really miss smoking cigarettes. I'm not like, man, I wish I could just, pick it up again. Yeah, it's funny, but smoked like a pack a day for 20 years and I quit and just really don't miss it.
There you go. See, it could have been a resolution. Okay, so today this is not the smartest guys in the room. We're gonna have a logo we show you guys soon too. We got a couple logos, a couple different colors. We got one logo, a couple different colors. We're gonna show you. But anyway, today on Not the Smartest Guys in the Room, we're talking goals, resolutions, and stuff you are leaving behind. We have show and tell, might have a new game for Tom if he's not a curmudgeon and wants to play later. So, what do you say, Tom? Should we just lead with Dr. Tachi and see what she's got? If there's any goal or something she's leaving behind to start off with, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I like that. I mean, yeah, for me, like I don't know. I'm one of those kind of people. I'm not a big fan of sort of New Year's resolutions, right? It's sort of like you're almost setting yourself up to fail, I kind of feel like with a New Year's resolution. If you're trying to like flip a switch and instantly, do something that you haven't done before, sort of historically has not been a part of your life, trying to like pull a 180 on something, or because often that's what you hear resolutions are, right? Like somebody's like, my resolution this year is like, I'm going to start going to the gym. It's like, have you ever sort of had that kind of routine in your life before? Well, you can't just like flip a switch and turn that routine on, right? Like,
Come on, is it that hard? I like last year I was going to do sit-ups every day. And I'm like, okay, I'll set a goal of every day of the year I'm going to do sit-ups. So like I wasn't a big sit-up doer and things like that. And now I will be honest, I did fail, so you might be right, but I fell because I fell off my bike and broke a rib and was in the hospital and couldn't move, and then it threw my whole. But to make a decision, whatever I mean, I get like you're saying the 180, but a realistic. Okay, Tom's going to get out and quit drinking coffee or whatever. Like, why can't people do it?
Why would I do that? Why would I quit drinking coffee?
Hey, I want to show you
crazy talk.
into the camera. Let's see if I can, Dr. Tachi, if you're looking, look what we got here. Anybody watching on the live stream, I can't tilt it enough because it is perfect today.
It is. And take note for anybody who's just listening, who's not watching. I am using some heavy air quotes here. That's Dom's coffee.
Yes.
Coffee in hard air quotes.
It's smooth. It's sugary. It's got some French vanilla creamer in it too. Man, this thing.
It's a vanilla milkshake with a little bit of coffee flavor.
Another hour into this, another hour. We might go another. I'll just pull like a 3 hour straight because I'm gonna have so much energy. So okay. Dr. Tachi, what are you leaving behind this year? What are you leaving behind? Goal resolution. See, I just say I consider it all good if you set set it and work.
And look, I'm a fan of setting goals, right? But I think what people do is they make sort of hard kind of decisions, right? They sort of say, this is what I'm going to do. They don't set a goal of like, I'd like to accomplish this. They say, this is what I'm going to do. And they're kind of setting themselves up for failure because a lot of those things are like behavioral 180s, right? And I don't think that's achievable. So I like goals. I'm all about goals, right? I just don't like the way most people approach resolutions. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it's feasible. But anyway, that's what I think. Dr. Tachi, what do you think? Got goals? Stuff you're leaving behind? What are we doing in 2025?
First of all, Happy New Year. I 100% agree and co-sign with you into a volcano, Tom. I think it can be good it's good to set goals, but resolutions, and this is just my opinion, give you an excuse not to do what you need to do all year and say next year, I'm going to do it. To me, it's nonsense. But for some people, they may work. There's a post I saw this morning from Barbara Corcoran, and if you don't know who she is, the New York real estate tycoon. She was also formerly a shark. I don't know if she's still a shark anymore on Shark Tank, but she posted this, and it's a sign that says start in November, start in your 40s, start on Friday, start at 5 p.m., start on the 31st, start late, start. So just start. I think that's the thing. Sometimes we wait for a specific day. Oh, I'll start at the end of the week. Well, unless there's a reason that you can't start now, why not start now? So that's the spirit that I'm taking things into 2025. Start now.
I like that. That's exactly like a great point. I think is that people are just sort of they use it as an excuse to delay starting, and then they also use it as an excuse for not doing what they said they were going to do. So yeah, I agree with you. I think resolutions, you're just setting yourself up for failure. I don't know how else to put it. What do you think, Dom?
Well, first of all, Dr. Tachi got a heart for me while she was saying that, so she's right up my alley. Second of all, we blocked our first person from the room of the year for, I see in the comments, he said we can, you can get $4,000. Here, I'm so nice. I invited somebody on stage, and then 1 second later, they $4,000 that we could earn. Anyway, I want to say, I had a birthday the other day, and I had my wife Liz asked me what I wanted to do for my birthday, like what I wanted, that kind of thing. I'm like, you know what I want to do? I want to climb rocks because I can't live, to Dr. Tachi's point, I can't live one more year of my life without having climbed rocks. So we went and did like indoor rock climbing in Pittsburgh with harnesses and then on boulders and stuff like that. But like to Dr. Tachi's point, start today. It is not too late. I keep telling, like, if my kids or anybody says, sometimes people might question where you're at in business or if you hit your $1 trillion goal or whatever. When I Googled yesterday that Elon Musk makes $240,000 a second, that is what it actually came out to. That's what he's making. Anyway, I just think, hey, it's not too late. If Colonel Sanders sold his first piece of chicken at 60 years old, why can't we do it? So why can't I start rock climbing? So that's my premise there.
That was the first time you'd ever been rock climbing?
Yeah, man.
Nice. What'd you think? Did you have fun?
I loved every second of it. I thought it was indoors and everything. So now I was sore as, what do they call that? Lactic acids. And I lift weights and exercise and things. Why? I must never lift a weight from my hand to my elbow because my forearms felt like I couldn't even move my wrist and stuff. But yeah, I loved every second of it, Tom.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Yeah, you get a lot of forearm strength. Your forearm is really what gives you your grip strength.
Yeah,
and like you're using a ton of grip strength for climbing. I mean, I'm not like a seasoned climber by any stretch. I've done it a few times over the years, both inside and outside. But never anything like big or major, just, fun stuff messing around. But it's it's a good time. It's a good time.
I'm telling all you, I need this in my life. One of my friends who I consider like a mentor in the nonprofit world and stuff like that, she told me one day, she was telling me, she said like about 20 years ago, she got divorced and had a lot of fear in her life. And she said that she started rock climbing and she was like going on mountains and all like, and she said it helped her overcome all that fear. And now this lady's as brave as can be. And she told me she went out rattlesnake hunting one day, not to hunt them, with a friend to chip rattlesnakes, because at a local den they were poaching rattlesnakes. And so she went out with these people, because she's fearless now, and they push these rattlesnakes in tubes, and as their heads come out the end, they put a chip in them so that the poachers get caught, I guess. So, okay, I've got too many stories starting 1-1, Tom. So okay, Tom doesn't like resolutions, but before we get to John and Vanessa, Tom, do you have something you're going to do differently, or a goal or anything like that?
I mean, look, 2024 was a big year for me, right? Started off with publishing my book in January, right? Followed up a few months later with welcoming our daughter Isla to the family, and started another business, including signing our first client with a couple of colleagues. That business is called Media Gym. By the way, it's media-gym.com if anybody wants to check it out. But started another business with a couple of colleagues of mine from my days in TV. Have been working on growing Talex Media, and then also am started up the Legendeering Academy. That's going to be starting with our first cohort in January. Well, this first quarter, I should say. We were hoping for January, but I think it's going to be a little bit further down the line, which is great. It's fine. We're looking to fill the first group, but it's a 12-week course built off of the book, right? So, professionally, personally, I also, obviously on the personal side, don't want to skip. Did my 4th Ironman and qualified for the Ironman World Championships in Nice, France in September. So going to Nice this year to compete in the Ironman World Championships as a age grouper. So, big year, lots of highs, right? Like lots of accomplishments. So my goal for 2025 is to kind of keep that momentum going. Right. So I don't want to let off the gas. I want to keep pushing forward. I want to keep accomplishing goals. Not necessarily having another kid. But let's let the one, let's work on the one first. But yeah, I mean, just working on accomplishing more goals, continuing to grow, Talex Media, continuing to push the mission of Legendeering forward through the Legendeering Academy, continue to accomplish and achieve things in the 2 Ironman races that I'm going to do this year. Just lots of goals, lots of things that I want to keep on the gas towards and keep that momentum going, continue to grow the business, grow the impact, have a positive impact, all of those good things. So that's kind of my thing for 2025, is I just want to keep that momentum going. And I don't want to let off the gas. There's temptation, right, to sort of coast. And I've been fighting that temptation through the holidays a little bit, when it is a very, very quiet time of year and it's easy to just coast. But actually, kind of fortunately, I've been busy with Media Gym. We've had a lot of stuff going on there. So, working on getting ready to do a seminar in the second week of January through Media Gym. And yeah, just keep them moving forward, trying to, win new business with Talex Media and grow the Legendeering Academy and all good things, and spend time with my family, spend time with Becky and with our daughter Isla. And Isla's starting to get to that fun age where she's, very aware, looking around. She's starting almost crawling. She'll be 6 months old in 9 days. So, She's almost crawling already. So yeah, she's starting to be really fun to interact with. She's less lump and more starting to develop a little personality, you know, because babies are like, for the first few months, they just kind of lay there, right? They don't really do much. Can't even pick up their own heads and look around. But now she's really curious. She's looking around a lot. She's really fun to interact with. So I'm having a good time with her too. But yeah, I mean, that's my 2025, man. Those are my goals for 2025. Just keep going in the right direction, in a positive direction, keep moving forward. That's the goal.
It's good stuff, Tom. I appreciate it. And it's inspiring, right? The balance is inspiring, that you've been putting in the work and it is paying dividends, and you see yourself. I live in this world of the precipice where you put in the work, and you see a lot of times where these bigger opportunities happen. So by putting in the work. So I feel you, brother. Go on.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to say too is, like, to your point, Dom, right? Like, I'm not a spring chicken, right? I'm 46 years old, right? I'm wearing glasses. I was kind of jokingly texting a buddy of mine last night, and saying Happy New Year, as I sit here texting you, looking at my phone through my brand new reading glasses. I don't think I'm going to make it till midnight this year. Right. And he was like, good, me either. I was actually just hoping that nobody was going to text me at midnight and wake me up. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of never too late to really kind of find your stride and find what motivates you. I mean, I'm, like I said, I'm 46 years old, and I feel like every day I'm just starting to figure things out. Right. So yeah, I'll probably feel like that, for the rest of my life, and I'm good with that. I like it. I enjoy it. So yeah, don't put things on the back burner or say it's too late. It's definitely never too late.
Live with that childlike wonder. All right, let's go. Goals, resolutions, and stuff you're leaving behind. I made a video this morning talking about something similar. Shared it on Instagram and TikTok. Goals, resolutions, and shit you're leaving behind. And I see that Instagram beep. I actually put a beep in it. It says beep when I said shit. So Clubhouse does not do that. So okay. Goals, resolutions, and stuff you're leaving behind. John Jay, what do you got? What do you got for us, John Jay? Hope you don't leave us behind.
Come on, New John. Year to you all. I did a video today too, but as usual, it's faceless, so my face is not on it. And posted on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn as well, and I'm doing a mini chat broadcast on it. Here's and I don't like term resolutions, and then I'll go for the new year, new me stuff. Big thing to do is that I'm gonna, if it's possible, I'm gonna care even less what other people think and do. I'm gonna continue on what works for me, and those who can benefit from that will use it. Those who don't, that's up to them. That's cool. And for me to apply my lessons, to work more diligently on what works and spend less time on what doesn't. And the last thing I do is focus on developing even more peace and quiet and calmness throughout my life, and eliminating as much drama and trauma as possible. That's my only resolutions.
Yeah, preach, John Jay. Good stuff, man. No more drama. Isn't that a song? Dr. Tachi, is that its song? Is that TLC song? Who sings that? No more drama. Somebody sings that. If not, they should.
That's Mary J. Blige.
Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, Mary J. Blige.
Okay, I see. There we go. Mary J. Blige. No more drama. Okay, Tom, I got a question for you. And John Jay, this is on something you said. For a lot of my authors that don't do like video, I talk about documenting stuff, and that they don't need to be on video. I believe in using video, but I don't think they have to be the face of the video. And I see like major law firms like Morgan and Morgan or whoever they are, they use different people. It's not necessarily the owner of the law firm that's on the video. So Tom, from a production standpoint, you got any beef with like when you're working with companies, if like they can still tell a story without them being the focal point, right?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, like I often discourage like the ownership or the leadership of the company from being the sort of face or the voice of the company in video if they're not the right fit, right? I mean, I think often people believe or want to believe that they are the best messenger for their business or brand. And that may be true in certain circumstances, but it's not true in all, right? They may be incredibly comfortable in a networking setting, right, or in a business setting, introducing their brand, talking about their company, sharing their values, et cetera, et cetera. You might point a camera at them and they turn into like a tree, right? They're stiff and they're boring, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to disparage trees too much, but you get my point. They're stiff, right? They don't move. They're not engaging. They're not they're not drawing the audience in. They're not delivering their message well, because it's a skill set. And if you don't have that skill set developed, you shouldn't be the one exercising that to represent your brand or your business. So just because you own the business, just because you founded the business, just because you run the business, doesn't mean you're necessarily the best messenger for the business. So yeah, I'll actively discourage people from being on camera if I think it's detrimental to the overall goal of the content that they're creating. So it depends, but yeah, it's not the case that just because you run the business means you're the best messenger for the business, especially in the context of video or content production, right? Those two things are not always synonymous. Does that answer your question?
That was a good answer, and I appreciate that. Dr. Tachi gave a heart. So, Dr. Tachi, before we get to Vanessa, you hearted it, so you got a follow-up on that?
I just 100% agree. It's kind of like, I was thinking about this the other day. There's this rice that we love in Nigeria and West Africa called jollof rice. If it's not jollof, generally I don't want it. But there's a way to make it. You have to be adept at making it. So I said, somebody made a post about it, and I was like, making jollof rice is not everybody's ministry. So it's the same thing with this. If you can't make jollof, go ahead and buy it, enlist someone else to do it. It does not have to be you, simply for the sake of saying, I know I make jollof, but it's terrible. So I know that's probably an odd equation, but it reminded me of that when Tom was talking about it. It does not have to be you. And in fact, there are so many, depending on what it is you're doing. I'm not necessarily always talking about brand, but if you're doing YouTube videos, there's so many faceless videos that are effective, right? So it may be just your voice, which could be effective because you've scripted it out. So there are different ways to do it where you don't have to physically be on camera, and then you don't have to do it at all.
Good stuff all around, and a great way to use video without being on camera. So good stuff. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Dr. Chachi and John. All right, Vanessa, you are up. Let me say this again. Goals, resolutions, or stuff you are leaving behind for 2025. Where do you want to take us on this new journey, Vanessa? Uh-oh, she's saying nowhere. I don't want to take you anywhere. Okay.
My mic is so sticky. It took me like 5 or 6 taps. So I apologize. But hi, Dominic. Hello, everyone in the room. Happy New Year. So yeah, I love this question. I don't really do the resolutions or goals per se, but I do love to implement themes and intentions into my year. And so for this year, one of the things that I want to like a mindset and like something that I want to adapt into my life is because I feel like I have spent a lot of time building this new business, really spinning my wheels and wondering if like I'm making the right decisions and the right moves, you know. And so I'm intending to um, to have a mindset of, I can't make a wrong choice if I'm divinely guided, which I know that I am. And I know that every decision, every choice is leading me in the right direction, even if I take the scenic route, right? Even if it's quote unquote wrong for the moment, it's going to bring me back to the right path, So just like really walking in that. So walking in confidence and just intentionality, and to, just continue to put one foot in front of the other regarding my business every single day, even through the ups and the downs. And I'm intentionally I need to strengthen my bones. I actually need to do that because I'm a yoga teacher. I do a lot of yoga. I'm very strong, but I need to strengthen my bones. Because I am 46, so I resonate when you said that, Tom. You mentioned your age. I'm 46 as well, and I'm a liver transplant recipient. So I have to be very intentional about keeping strong, healthy bones. So that's what I'm doing. I got to get back in the gym and lift those heavy weights. So, yeah, thanks for listening. Back to you.
Thanks, Vanessa. I was just going to say I'm going to preface this with a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm not a medical professional. That said, from all of my sort of research and listening and reading and understanding that has gone into sort of my experience with fitness and with exercise, et cetera, you're definitely on the right track in terms of like doing work to increase and improve your bone density. I would say definitely strength training, but also believe it or not, running is actually really good for bone density. So something to bear in mind, something to think about. If you don't run, maybe thinking about incorporating a little bit of running into your routine if possible. And then the other thing too, which would require going to a doctor, getting a blood panel, et cetera, is looking at your vitamin D levels. I forget the statistics, but like a crazy high percentage of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. And vitamin D is related to and involved in calcium absorption from the foods that we eat. And obviously, you need calcium as a mineral to be able to build strong bones and maintain bone density. So something to look into or think about also when you go for your regular checkup. Talk to your doctor about vitamin D and look at potentially if it's low. And if the doctor agrees that it's a good idea with the guidance of medical professionals, think about maybe supplementing your vitamin D to help increase your calcium absorption from the foods that you eat, so that you can continue to build and maintain strong, healthy bones. But that's just some stuff that has come out of all of the crazy research that I've done. So yeah. Anyway, just some thoughts. Cool. And I see your doctor prescribed that as well. So yeah. So look at that. I'm not just making up crazy stuff. I actually have a vague idea of what I'm talking about.
I quit drinking milk a while ago. Maybe I need to go back to it. But vitamin D from the sun, that's why I got the sweetest tan around, Tom. Not in the winter.
But that's for what? A couple of months? What are you doing to create vitamin D the rest of the year?
Dr. Tachi, John, tell Tom, John saw me in February and I was probably still tan, wasn't I, John?
Yep. I hate to break it to you, Tom, but
and you look like Ray Romano.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Okay. I don't know that that's a compliment.
It is a compliment.
I hate to break it to you, Dom, but being tan doesn't mean you have good levels of vitamin D.
Well, like I remember a minute ago when Tom said he was not a doctor. I'm sticking with that. All right, goals, resolutions, and stuff you're leaving behind. Jason, what do you got? Jason, this new picture. I looked at it at first, and because it's smaller Joseph's got a new profile picture. He's sitting forward. I thought like he had like a new wig or something like that. And sometimes I'll wear like a wig to a Steeler game just to be funny. So I had to look at it close, but he's got one of those snap hats on. So goals, resolutions, or shit you're leaving behind. What do you got for us, Jason?
I've got, there's always things you're leaving behind, but it's like, what have I built upon? That's more important. Goals. I don't really mention too many goals to too many people unless you're going to be able to help me get there. So it's something that Stoics really believe in. They believe don't tell anybody really your goals so you don't get sabotaged by outside influences. But, and there is a big but, it's like, what is the system that you're going to use? And I was watching a content creator on YouTube where he just had a very simple, I've probably known it all along, but he asked a question. He said, I know the difference between a goal and a task. A goal is always going to have obstacles. It's going to have meaningfulness. It's going to have a direction and an objective. A task is just something you just did. There's not really not much brain, but just some effort. But a goal takes, I like what Vanessa said, intention, and it takes inertia, follow through, and consistency. And if you haven't written it down, reviewing why you did it, and giving it a timestamp, like when it needs to stop, versus, oh, just making another goals per day, more goals, more goals, more goals and goals and goals and goals and goals. Well, you're just creating tasks. The next really big part is how you look at it. Look at it every week, look at it every quarter, make a goal for every quarter and for the year. I make 4 for the year and they're divided into quarters, just like business. So then I give it an identity, knowing the difference between, well, am I behind because there's other things I didn't think about? And I monitor my progress, and I try not to make the mistakes of just keeping a goal in my head, or not writing it down, or never looking and reviewing them why they're there. So there's always that progress process. And I visualize, there is going to be obstacles. There are things in the unknown, you know, and with the identity versus an action, and then just go for it. And, always be able to willing to learn. So there's plenty of things to accomplish this year, but they do have timestamps for me.
Right on, Jason. I like that idea of throughout the year looking back on the goal and like checking in, seeing where you're at, and is this still relevant? Am I on the right path? Did I get sidetracked? Do I need to do something different? So good stuff. Okay. Hey, Wendy's back. So Wendy was here. She was gone. She's a friend of ours. She wants to come up. Wendy, and then we're going to play a game. After Wendy goes, we're going to play a new game, a new Tom game that I propose, and we'll see if it is a massive flop or if it goes over.
Yeah, and this is trial by fire. Like, this is not something we've done before. We have not rehearsed this. I'm not even 100% sure what's coming. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, Wendy, goals, resolutions, or stuff you are leaving behind. That is this. Hey, this year I'm going to do this. This year I'm tired of this. One of the things that I was thinking that I am going to try to leave behind this year is distractions. Do I get caught up in too many distractions? Now that's very broad, but could I eliminate, like, okay, what is it that's wasting my time, even 10 minutes of my time, a half hour of my time, whatever that is? I'm going to try to eliminate more distractions. Maybe I need to block my calendar better, whatever. So that's one of the things I'm going to try to do better. Okay. And I'm going to try to do sit-ups every day, at least, even if it's 10 for a whole year. Then I'm not going to hit a manhole that makes me go sideways. All right. Wendy, what do you got for us?
Hey, it's so good to see you guys. I was needing a good room today, or needing a good conversation, and then I saw you on and I went, man, that is definitely the space I want to be in today. So appreciate you guys for holding space and having this conversation. I love this debate. Years ago, I wrote a blog that said no resolutions. Like, for the rest of my life, I'm not setting any resolutions. And I've been working on reformatting my goals, like Jason was saying, like in a more structured, meaningful way, but really thinking on the 8 dimensions of wellness, and how do I create goals for myself that go into the dimensions that I'm not already working on, or that I'm not particularly fond of working on. Like, I have a lot of goals around financial wellness that I need to work on this year, that are very prescriptive to me, but obviously every person has their own financial wellness journey. So I think it's helpful to have that frame of reference for the 8 dimensions of wellness, that we all can leverage some work in some area and kind of go forward with, what is a great routine for us. Because I love the conversation you guys are talking about early on with the gym. I'm a gym rat. I've been a gym rat for 25 plus years. Like, I will go to the gym if any excuse comes about and I need it, I'll go. If I just wake up and a routine, I'll go. So for me, that's not the problem. The problem is more like what you were saying, Dominic. What am I doing with the microseconds that I'm in the gym? How do I make each of the things that I'm doing meaningful so that my body is getting the best out of the 45 or half hour, whatever I put into it? And I think that for some of my goals, it's really more about the intentionality of how do I complete the tasks or the actions that lead up to that goal. And I've had some really not great stagnant energy around me lately. And so I think what I'm leaving behind is that energy. But what I'm thinking about is, how can I move in the opposite direction? Like, how can I leverage the momentum of the negativity to repel myself to the actually opposite spot? And what does that look like for myself? And I love what you were saying, Vanessa. You just literally gave me the marketing words I needed for a product. So I wanted to call into you and say thank you so much for sharing what you shared today, because I'm trying to solve what you were talking about with one of my products in my business. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly the reel I need to create. Like, I need to speak exactly to what she said today. So I appreciate all this has been the space I needed to be in. I went for a 2-mile hike this morning already with the dog. I've been out in the woods hiking. I had some water damage in my house, and I've got some other stuff going on. I got some repairs going on. So I'm gonna just be back in listening mode. But I just wanted to say thank you guys. And also, Doctor, I was laughing at your jollof rice because I actually have a customer or a client who her product is a bagged jollof rice that is amazing, and it's so good. And it's the only way that I can cook jollof rice, because I definitely cannot get it right. So if I use the bag version, girl, I'm set.
I'm gonna clip Dr. Tachi talking about jollof rice and see, in like, with like tag jollof rice and all these things, and see like it's probably something millions of people are looking up, jollof rice. What do you think? That's probably what will go viral. Dr. Tachi motivating us with a message of jollof rice. What do you think, Dr. Tachi?
Listen, jollof rice is big. There are whole wars in West Africa over who makes the best jollof rice. Ghanaian jollof versus Nigerian. Senegalese jollof versus Sierra Leone. So it's a huge thing. You don't mess with people in jollof rice. I think it will go viral, sir.
Okay, good advice. Okay, now, not the smartest guys in the room. New year. This is a random segment we're going to try, unless it goes terribly. So I here's the plan. I want to give something from pop culture to Tom, a scenario from pop culture. Now he could say, I don't know that at all, and that would be very bad, or media or something like that. And I want a yes or no answer at the end of it. The answer has to be, does Tom like it? Yes or no. He can give a thumbs up or thumbs down. Now, in the middle of it, Tom, you can Tomish, because you might be like a curmudgeon sometimes, and you can tell us this side of it and that side of it. But at the end, you have to come down. Does Tom like it? Yes or no? So I will frame it like that. So the question I will ask you today, and when I think about the question, I'm going to set Tom up. Does Tom like Taylor Swift attending her boyfriend's football games?
So do I have to get a long-winded answer, or can I just say yes or no?
Oh, well, that would ruin it. If you're that clear on it, I guess so. Then I might rebut on you. Go on.
No, so here's the, look, there's been a lot of wah boo-hoo from snowflakes out there crying about Taylor Swift stealing attention from the NFL or from the games that she attends, because of her relationship with Kelsey, and is it a good thing for her to be there, and blah 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 blah. And I think at the end of the day, there's two things you need to look at to decide whether or not it's a good thing. One is from a business perspective, is the NFL happy with it? And I would say resoundingly yes, because one of the big problems that the NFL has and has historically had in terms of their viewership is basically their viewership was predominantly men between the ages of 18 and 50s or 60s, right? So like there's sort of the male demographic across a broad swath of ages was really their audience. And the problem is that they didn't have very much of a stronghold or a foothold with women viewers, right? Historically. And Taylor Swift attending the games and getting really excited when things happen, getting really excited when her boyfriend scores or when her boyfriend's team does well, and cheering and having fun and hanging out with Mama Kelsey and all of those things has done a good amount to bring in female viewership for the NFL. So from a business perspective, is it a good thing for Taylor Swift to attend NFL games? Absolutely. Absolutely. It has increased and diversified their viewership. So yes, from a business perspective, definitely. Personally, what do I think? Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think it's good to see people wholeheartedly supporting the people that they care about. I think in like just on a base level as human beings, that is a positive thing to see someone cheering on someone they care about, and being proud of them and excited about them and their teammates when they do well, is a good thing, right? I don't see how you can spin that as a bad thing. And in terms of all the boo-hooing, when it comes to, Taylor Swift being there and stealing attention and so on and so forth, all I have to say is toughen up, snowflakes, right? Like it's the people who like to call other people snowflakes who are crying the loudest about Taylor Swift watching a football game, right? So like all I got to say is toughen up, Buttercup, right? Like how about you put on your big boy pants and go cry in your Miller Lite to somebody who cares? Because I don't. I think it's a good thing. Tom gives it a yes.
Okay, that's a thumbs up. I wonder if you can actually give can you give a thumb up on Club Deck to your is that can Tom do that? A thumbs up. Okay, so you can put in the comments if does Cranky Tom like it, yes or no, if we should do that again sometime. I mean, a girl going to see her boyfriend play, that's love, right? What a beautiful love story. So
I just have to say, I put it in the chat, Dominic. Taylor Swift attending the games is not good for the general population's livers, however, because now there's officially a drinking game. Every time their camera pans to T Swift, you have to take a shot. So
okay, there you go. I did not know that there was a drinking game about it. I maybe I will play. Hey man, I sold my tickets for the Kansas City game over Christmas, but I don't think she came to Pittsburgh. Come on now, that's not right. Okay, goals, resolutions, and stuff you're leaving behind. Alexandra, we are coming to you. So it looks like what's this, Times Square? It looks like Times Square in the back. I love Times Square, the whole buzz of it.
yes, those are pit bull puppies celebrating New Year's in Times Square.
You ever been to Times Square?
Nope. Wait, no, I take that back. Yes, when I was 16, I take that back. I went once.
Yeah, it's the place to be. I consider there are two centers of the universe. I will share with this room right now. First center of the universe is Times Square. The second center of the universe, Tom's saying how there are two center of the universes. There are two centers of Dom's universe. The second center of the universe is Punxsutawney, where Punxsutawney Phil comes out of the hole and thousands of people come to watch the ground.
Have you been there, Dom?
What, Punxsutawney? Hell yeah, John. How dare you?
I've been there once, and it was not during Groundhog Day, and there's absolutely nothing going on there. It's the boringest place on the planet.
How dare you say that? That is
Punxsutawney is so. I mean, they roll up the carpets at the Groundhog Day. There's nothing going on.
there might not even be an open restaurant on another day of the year. There's a
But it's
mural
your goal.
there's a mural with the groundhog, right? There might be like a statue of a groundhog, and that's about it, John. All right.
I just want to jump in real quick too, Dom. I didn't have this number because obviously I didn't know what you were going to ask me for this new. Which also we don't have a name for this yet. We should come up with a name for this segment. So open to suggestions. For you guys, throw something in the chat if you can think of a name for this new segment, this new game that Dom has come up with, where he tries to get me to rant about something. So anyway,
you nailed it. That is. Can I get under his skin and get him to rant? I think.
Oh, I know.
Okay,
I get it. I get it.
Right.
But the thing I wanted to say is because I didn't have this statistic at my fingertips. Because I genuinely didn't know what you were going to ask me this morning. Because when you broached this subject to me, just so everybody knows a little background, when Dom broached this subject to me, he didn't use that example, right? So he came up with a new example to ask me about, because the one that he mentioned when he broached it, I wasn't familiar with. So he decided to go with something that he thought I'd be familiar with. But here's the number that I wanted to throw out. And this, again, is just to reiterate how precious and delicate all these little snowflakes are crying about Taylor Swift getting screen time. Apparently, on average, at an NFL game that Taylor Swift attends, she gets about 25 seconds of screen time over the course of a more than 3-hour broadcast, which amounts to 0.46%-ish of the total broadcast time of an NFL game. So for everybody crying boo-hoo that Taylor Swift is getting too much screen time, it's less than 25 seconds over the course of 3 hours. So,
but it's still enough for people to get drunk when they take shots.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, hey, look, if they're cutting to her for like a second or two at a time, that could be anywhere from 12 to 15 shots over the course of a game. That'll get you tuned up. I don't care who you are, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that just to put in perspective just how fragile some of these people are being about Taylor Swift being shown on camera. 0.46% of the screen time. 0.46. 0.4%. Yeah.
See, we got Tom going. This is good. Okay. Now got goals, resolutions, and stuff. Goals, resolutions, Taylor Swift, and stuff you're leaving behind. Alexandra, what do you got? What do you got for this year or last year that you're ditching? Go on.
Okay. It's actually really funny because I have two sets of goals. I have my personal goals, and then I have my goals for my writing. So my 2025 personal goals are to read 208 books, save money, and walk my dog every day, once a day, every day, because it'll be good for both of us, I feel like. And then for professional, because I'm a writer, I want to get my screenplay done. So I'm working on the edit one of the screenplay. Then I'm gonna send it to a couple of mentors for feedback, and then I'm gonna do the second draft of edits, and then I'll send it to my feedback group because we do table reads of the full script, and then they give feedback, and then based off of that feedback, I'll do the final edit, and then I'm going to enter it into a few competitions and fellowship applications, and then that will culminate in attending Austin Film Festival in October.
I like it. I like that is very organized, Alexandra. So it seems set a goal. She has a plan. She's working towards it. Seems like a winner all around to me. Any teasers on what this screenplay's about, or you wanna throw it out there, or what do you got? Or you're keeping that?
Yeah, it's a really simple concept. It's about a 25-year-old girl who suffers a mental and emotional breakdown. And she locks herself in her Saturn mind, and she goes on an Alice in Wonderland type journey to put herself back together before she could wake up.
There you go. Big potential there. All right. We keep us posted on the updates. Okay, Tom, what do you think? Start in the year, you're nodding. Well, you're nodding yes to Alexandra, or you're nodding because you predict the future and know it's time for your show and tell.
That's exactly what I was nodding for. I figured you were starting to create a segue into show and tell, and I was nodding to that. So yeah, let's kick off 2025 with our first show and tell on the first day of the year. Let's see what you got.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it short, but not that short. So my dad went to like a fundraiser the other day and won a basket, and it was like a Steeler basket. So Steeler basket, cool to me. He looks through it. He doesn't like the stuff. So terrible towel. I was short a terrible towel the other day because I had to take one off my wall, and then I realized I had two in another bag, and I got terrible towels I can't use. So that was good. Signed helmet from Player, cool. There's Crocs in here, but I'm not. That's for a true Yinzer, so I can't wear a Croc like this. I'm not that. There's hats.
I think you could wear that to a game.
Get beat up. Another football signed by another guy. That's cool. But the coolest thing for me, inside one, there was two programs, like yearly programs. Like this year, there was one for 23, one for 24. So I'm randomly scrolling through one of these things, and I found inside this Merrill Hodge, this cool guy from the 80s, his autograph just fell out. And they thought this was just a throw-in. But to me, when beautiful Merrill Hodge came out of there, I was happy as a clam. And this Merrill Hodge hidden gem inside of something is what will go up on the wall. So you keep looking. There are hidden gems everywhere. Tom, that's what show and tell is today.
I like
this Merrill Hodge autograph.
I like it. And I wonder too if they put it in there on purpose, or if it was like accidentally left in there or got put in there by accident, and it was a happy little accident that you found it in there. But either way,
it has me intrigued. Cool. I thought the same thing. Like, so they have all these, it was in a program and it just fell out. And I wondered why. Now I will tell you, my buddy was in the Navy. He broke down along the road one time. He broke down along the road between Pittsburgh and West Virginia. Okay. Him and his girlfriend 20 years ago. All of a sudden, this guy picked him up along the road and took them to the local town, Weirden, West Virginia, and bought them dinner. As they were sitting at the table, people were coming up and high-fiving the guy that was there with my buddy. And my buddy had been in the Navy, so he was out in Hawaii, so he didn't know much about what was going on around here. So everybody's coming up and high-fiving this guy that picked him up and took him to dinner. And so all of a sudden, they figured that this guy might be somebody important or something. And it was Merrill Hodge who picked my buddy up, who was broke down along the road, and picked him up and decided just to take him for lunch too. So, and then helped him out. So that's what I got for you, Tom.
Well, what are the odds there too that like the autographed picture of a Steelers player from 35 years ago, right, would fall out, and it would happen to be a Steelers player that you have a personal sort of anecdote about, right, through a friend, like one level removed, a personal story about interacting with Merrill Hodge. That's cool. I like it.
Now, if I was a nice guy, I would let my friend Trevor have this picture, but instead I'll hang it on the wall and he can look at it when he comes
finders
over.
Keepers.
That's right.
Finders keepers.
Okay, goals, resolutions, show and tells, new shows. All right. Not. How do we do? First day. Anybody? Any last 10 seconds? Any last minute thoughts today before we get to Tom? I'm going around the room quick, Tom, before I get to you for a wrap up, because it was a beautiful. One thing I appreciate is people that show up. People that just keep moving forward, whatever you're doing, consistency. So I would encourage each of you, just keep showing up, give your best. And that's part of the reason why we're here today. Things are not perfect. We know we don't do everything right, but we will continue to show up. We will try to be better. And I would encourage each of you, 2025, just keep showing up. When times get hard, show up, keep moving forward. So Jason, 30 seconds. Alexandra, I'm going to go around the room for you, and then we're going to finish up with Tom. Yeah, and if we go 5 minutes long, we will today because it's the first of the year and we'll do whatever the hell we want. Okay, Jason, what do you got? A final thought?
Yeah, my final thought is anticipate you're going to get sucker punched in anything that you attempt in your goals. So no matter what, you are going to get knocked down. You are going to be objected to. You are going to be told things that's not going to work. So you know what? Listen to it and use it as fuel. It's just very simple. It's there for a reason. If it didn't object to you, then was it really worth it? So human beings need that worth. So go towards the obstacle. Stop running from it.
Boom. That was a good one. All right. Good stuff. Alexandra, what do you got?
Do it, even if it's hard. In fact, do it, especially if it's hard, because the harder it is, the more satisfied you'll feel when you do it.
Yeah, this is good. Do hard things. Do the hard things. Okay, my friend Jolanta, final wrap up. You're just coming in, but we're going through. So I got to go to my friend Jolanta. So a final 10 seconds, 20 seconds word of encouragement heading into 25. What do you got?
Thanks, Dominic. Hey, Tom. Hey, everybody. Uncle John, good to see you guys. Let's see. Just start somewhere. Start and keep going. Stay consistent with it. It's all old sayings in the oldest book in the world, but if you don't start doing something, you never know where you're going to end up, and it could lead to wonderful possibilities and staying positive. That's another good thing for the new year is I'm gonna just keep on going and leave things in the past that are things that I want to see die as old habits, just like things that were hindering you. So just keep it up and keep pushing. Good to see you guys. Happy New Year, Dom and Tom. I'll see you in a month.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Appreciate you. John Jay, then Vanessa, then Wendy, Dr. Tachi, and then Tom for a final wrap up. So what do you got, John Jay?
Yeah, the one thing I came up with suggestion for the name of the segment with Tom is Tom's Thumbs Up. Boy, I know Tom's thumb. So the main thing I would say is this: the hell with what everybody else says. Do what you need to do to get to where you need to go, and stop talking about it. Just do it. Get busy, and be willing to pivot and adjust as you go along.
Good stuff, John. And the pivot principle. Good point. Vanessa, what do you got for us?
Oh my goodness. Keep showing up every day, even, when things get hard, and whether you fall off or not, you're worthy. It's okay. Don't take it, don't be hard on yourself. Just keep going.
Lovely. We appreciate you. Wendy, what do we got?
Man, already so many good things I wanted to say. So I'm going to stick with just do what you want to do no matter who's watching, because people who are haters will be watching and people who love you will be watching, and you just need to keep doing you.
Yeah, boom. All right, Dr. Tachi, are you going to talk about rice or what do you got for us?
Learn to make jollof rice, yes, and be of service to yourself first. You're no good to serve anyone else if you are a train wreck on wheels. So be of service to yourself first.
Well, the oxygen mask theory, you got to put your own oxygen mask on first. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. All right, episode 1 of, we should call this like a season, but episode 1 of 2025. Tom, bring it home for us. What do you got, my friend?
Yeah, so I'm going to keep it really simple and keep it in line with the theme of today's episode, and that is that I think we would all be well served to remember that it's okay, and I would argue actually a good idea, to set big, audacious, potentially unachievable goals. And I think it's a good idea for a couple of reasons. One, it keeps us moving forward, right? To your point, Dom, it keeps us moving forward. It keeps us moving in the right direction, in a positive direction. And two, even if you don't achieve the goals you set out to accomplish, you will get further down the road for having tried than you ever would have if you hadn't set the goal to begin with, right? So big, audacious goals are a good thing. If I had never set a goal to complete an Ironman, I wouldn't be going to the Ironman World Championships in September. If I had never set a goal to start a business, I never would have started Media Gym, co-founded it with a few of my old colleagues from TV. If I had never set the goal of writing a book, I wouldn't have an award-winning book in legendeering, and I wouldn't be starting the Legendeering Academy. None of these things would have happened if I hadn't set a big, audacious goal and worked towards it. So I think we are all well served to set big goals, big, potentially unachievable goals, and work every day towards chipping away at accomplishing those things that we set forward for ourselves. So I hope everybody has an amazing, amazing year ahead. I am confident I will, and I hope all of you do too. And that's all I got to say to start off 2025. Here we go, guys. Big year, big goals. Let's get out and let's accomplish them. I wish you all the best. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys being here with us every week. Even on a holiday like today, even on New Year's Day, you are here, you're showing up, you're contributing, and we appreciate you for it. We love you for it. So thank you for being here with Dom and myself and not the smartest guys in the room, and making sure that we remain not the smartest guys in the room. Thanks very much. I like the idea for Tom's thumbs, potentially as an idea for the new segment. Let's see what anybody else has. Feel free to shoot it to us. Come back next week. Tell us what you think while Dom tries to get me to rant about something else in our new segment. But until then, love you guys. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. Have a great rest of your week, great weekend. And we will see you next Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. right here on Not the Smartest Guys in the Room. Until then, love you. Thanks. Bye-bye.